Hey everyone, it's Gloria with Gloria Beauty Sale, and I'm here to do a what's sold from week September 16th through September 28th. And this is on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and Etsy. First thing to sell was this pair of brown Born leather slip-on shoes. These were new in box. I had bought these at a yard sale for $5 and sold them for $55. The next item to sell was this LL Bean sweater, and this sold for $27.50, and the cost to me on it was $3.99. Next item to sell was this pair of cool vintage patina dyed hiking outdoor pants. And these sold for $23.80. Cost to me on them was $6.49. Next item to sell was this Lululemon blue striped zip front hoodie sweatshirt. This sold for $35. Cost to me on it was $6.49. Next item to sell was this hard to find vintage GT driving fog light with the box. I sold it untested for parts. This was something I found at estate sale, and I bought it for $1, sold it for $59. Next item to sell was this Piper and Blue printed V-neck jersey. This sold for $18. Cost to me on it was $1.50. Next item to sell was this vintage Angus black ceramic bowl Scotch whiskey decanter, and this is from the 1970s. It sold for $39. Cost to me on it was $10. Next item to sell was this Talbot's blue long sleeve chicken shirt jersey. This sold for $25. Cost me on it was $3. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. It just helps to make making these videos worthwhile. Hopefully you can see what is selling for me. Next item to sell was this Woodbury of Shelburne hand-turned hot plate. And this sold for $12. And the cost to me on it was $2.99. And not a great sale, but this I have had for so long, I was happy to see it go. This was handmade up in Vermont. Next item to sell was this Punxsutawney um, se- sesquicentennial black trucker cap, and this sold for, I took an offer of $10 just to move it along. I have a lot of hats, and I paid 50 cents for it, so that was fine. Next item to sell was this vintage Alex Coleman, California 60s, 70s pink ribbed leisure suit with bell bottoms. And this sold for, I took an offer of $33.15. I probably sent that offer out. Um, and the cost to me on it was $1. I had gone into the thrift store one week, and they had a bunch of 60s, 70s clothing for, suits for $1 a piece. That was really good. Okay, so the next item to sell was this, and this is the last thing on eBay, was this Land's End blue-green plaid pullover sweater jersey. And this sold, I took an offer of $20. The cost to me on it was $6.49. I accepted the $20 only because I probably shouldn't have picked it up. I don't normally pick up Lands' End, but I really do like green and blue plaid, so that's probably what got me to do it. So I was happy to take $20 to get it back out of my closet. Now over to Poshmark, and I did not make very many sales in Poshmark in those 2 weeks. First item was this wooded river cabin jacket. This sold for $28. Cost to me on it was $6.49. Next item to sell was this Kinross cashmere um, blue silk blend vest. It was not cashmere, it just happened to be Kinross cashmere. It was a silk blend though, and this I took an offer of $18. Cost to me on it was $3. Next item to sell was this vintage set of 80s, 90s hunter green flannel sheets, and I sold these for $35. The cost to me on them was $10. Next item to sell was this, another thing I had for a long time, and this sold for $15. I just happened to be watching, I think, Young Sheldon, and they had these hanging in their house. It caught my eye, and then mine sold. So these sold for $15, and the cost to me on them was $4. Now over to Etsy, and what sold on Etsy, the first thing was this stainless steel olive um, oil cruet pitcher, and this sold for $35, and the cost to me on it was $4.99. Next item to sell was this Golden Dawn 100% acrylic blanket with the satin trim. This sold for $39, and the cost to me on this was $2.99. Next item to sell was this pair of candle holders, wall sconces, and these are from Berwyn, mid-century modern. These sold for $55. The cost to me on these was $5.99. Next item to sell was this vintage Revereware Paul Revere whistling kettle, and this sold for $20. The cost to me on it was $1. Next item to sell was this set of three um, 1981 Wizard air freshener containers, and these sold for $24. The cost to me on these was $2.99. Next item to sell was this vintage memorabilia baby Jesus thermometer made in Italy, and this sold for $22. The cost to me on it was $3. Next item to sell was this Italian Florentine wood tray, This sold for $39. The cost to me on it was $4.99. Next item to sell was this rustic look galvanized metal grain scoop stamped Baker Company made with love, and this sold for $18. The cost to me on it was $2. And the last thing to sell was this vintage '70s saloon wooden spindles door corners, like corbels. They go in the corner of your doorways. Um, these I also bought at an estate sale and paid $2 and sold them for $45. That is everything I sold for the weeks of 9/16 to 9/28. If you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And I hope that you are having good sales on your stores, Bronx. Keep watching. Right now, I'm just catching up on all my what solds because I'm very behind, and then hopefully maybe I can start showing um, some of the things that I have around here, some of the hauls that I had made that still have to get listed. But hopefully that will happen soon. Good luck with your sales, and I will see you next time. Bye.